Hey home bakers, it's Jack here, bakewithjack.co.uk, bringing you your weekly bread making tip every single Thursday, and I feel like I need to make that bit a little bit shorter. But what is a baker's peel? Let's do it! Hey home bakers, welcome back in. If you're brand new here, welcome. For the first time, this is my studio where I film a little bread making tip every single Thursday, and if that sort of thing might help you out, consider pressing that subscribe button and you won't miss a single thing. So today I'm talking about baker's peels. And what is a baker's peel, I hear you ask? Well, I'm glad you did. A baker's peel is a piece of wood. It looks like this. It's like a little shovel, and you'll probably be more familiar with the one, or at least most familiar with the one, that the old pizzaiola chap has in the pizza parlour on a big long broom handle, sliding pizzas in and out of that oven on that brick surface. This is the peel that I use at home. Actually, truth be told, it's not really the peel I use at home. This is the peel that I sometimes use. I most certainly use it for pizzas, but there's a lot of other things that you can use that in my mind is a little bit more practical. We'll get onto that later. But this is what you use to slide dough into your oven. If you're stone baking things on a hot stone, you're just literally sliding the raw dough onto that hot stone to bake your bread. But you need something to slide it off of, and this is the proper tool, I guess. There are loads of peels that you can buy, and some of them have got super long handles, which I don't feel is entirely practical for home use. This one is my one with the little short stumpy handle. I've also got another example here actually of a slightly different one. It's plywood and it's got a little stumpy handle as well. You don't want to be taking the kids' eyes out every time you slide bread into that oven. Now, if you are stone baking stuff, there is literally tons of stuff you can use as a peel. It's nice to have a proper one at home. It's nice to have the proper tool to do the proper job sometimes, but there's lots of things you can get away with, and there's my preferred thing as well, which I'll tell you about towards the end. But this is a black tray that I use sometimes. If my peel is packed up in my car for a class or something, or packed off somewhere, I've left it somewhere, this is what I'll use at home, especially for pizzas. It's just a thin black tray. I'll keep it up, use it upside down so it's nice and smooth on that side, and that works really, really well, as does this one. I've got a couple of these. These are properly old school trays, and I really like these. They're well old school. They probably look like this when I got them. That's why I like them. They're a little bit ancient, but they're just a nice size and a nice sort of thickness to be able to slide stuff off of nice and easily. Whatever you are using as a peel, make sure you dust it nicely. If you're stone baking things, I tend to dust things with either a wholemeal flour, something a little bit coarse, or a polenta, or no, not normally polenta, actually semolina, but you can use polenta as well. It's the same principle, it's coarse. Some people use rice flour, but something that's coarse is going to help you out. In the case of pizzas, I always use baking parchment. I'll have my peel ready, and I'll put some slice of baking parchment before I put my dough on top. One reason is because I don't want to make a mess of my nice peel, and secondly, because if anything's going to stick to it and drag, or if there's a hole in it for sauce to snag on it and mess up the whole pizza, I don't want that to happen. So what I'll do is I'll slide that pizza into the oven on a piece of paper, and then when the bottom's set up nicely, I'll slide the paper out, leaving the pizza on the stone to finish off. My preferred peel to use at home isn't actually a peel. I've got a variety of sizes that I've collected over the years, and some of them are really dear and close to my heart, and others I couldn't give a monkey's about. But they're really ideal sizes. I've got different sizes for different things. I'll show you what they are. Here's a few that I made a while ago. These ones here, the old Bake with Jack peels. Nice, hey? These essentially are really thin plywood, and all I've done, I've taken this from the side of an old vegetable box. I used to work in restaurants, and we used to get vegetable boxes all the time and just used to throw them in the rubbish. So I popped the sides off and popped my old logo on it, and then I've made nice peels here, and these are really nice size for long sourdough loaves or anything of that sort of similar size. Next up, a similar thing, but these are the right size for baguettes. These came off the side of a vegetable box as well, and they're just nice baguette size. You can line up 4 of these and get 4 nice baguettes on those before you slide them into the oven. That works really, really well. And then the Ultimate, those ones that I logoed up, right? Those ones are my original. I've had them for about 5 years or something from the beginning of Bake with Jack. I thought it'd be a cool thing to do. But even older than those, I've had these kicking on about 10 years now from a restaurant. These little chappies, these are wicked. These are my original baguette peels that I salvaged from the side of a box in a restaurant about 10 years ago. I take it's probably like a, what is that, an orange? I don't know what that is. Whatever that is. I don't know, some sort of fruit or something like that, peaches, I don't know. But they came off the side and they're really wicked. I love those, properly vintage now. I could sell these for a lot of money. And in the same style, I got these. This is a broccoli box, by the way. Old Annie, trusty Annie, I got this one. I got another big one as well. And I got these two little smally ones. And these are perfect for sourdough loaves. And listen, the reason I use these at home instead of this big massive one is purely because of the size of it, right? The thing for me is that sometimes bread can stick to your peel and it's a little bit upsetting, okay? But if you do it on these little ones, and especially the little thin baguette ones, it's much easier. Imagine to yourself, you line up 4 nice baguettes onto here, yeah? And then when you come to try and shimmy them into the oven, one of them snags. And then you're shimmying this thing like this, trying to get that one off, and the other 3 are going all over the place. However, if you got them on the nice little skinny wooden ones like this, you can put 4 baguettes on 4 of these and line them all up on top of the oven, ready to go. Open the door and just shoot them in. 1, 2, 3, 4, which is absolutely perfect. And then also, if anything's a little bit too close, or if you've fluffed it up slightly and one of them's nearly touching the other one or something like that, I just put it like this, straight down like that, and you can sort of jimmy them around. You can put it in next to it and sort of push them sideways and sideways, make sure they're nicely evenly spaced that way, which is really hard to do with that big, massive peel. This one I use for pizzas because it's ideal. It's massive, the perfect size for pizzas. It's perfect. So there you have it. That's what people mean when they say peel. Sometimes it's a peel, sometimes it's a tray, sometimes it's an old bit of wood salvaged off of some vegetable box destined for the trash can. But you know what? Whatever it is, it's something to slide your nice, beautiful, homemade dough full of love onto that hot stone in the oven swiftly, so it doesn't stick, so it doesn't snag in that prime moment at the end of all your hard work. Thank you very much for hanging out with me today. I really appreciate you hanging out every week. It can be tricky for me to get these videos out, and in fact I filmed one for this week that was really awful because I was in a hurry, it was late, I was tired, so I deleted it and filmed this one instead. I hope you appreciate that. Thank you very much for being here with me every single week. Don't forget to click the subscribe button if you haven't already, and I look forward to seeing you next week for another bread making tip. Bye bye.